Let's take you through the grid for heat number 2, C versus D for X30 Junior. On pole position, it's the 137 from the United Kingdom, Henry Carter. Lorenz de Kock will line up alongside on the front row, Didier Krieft and Aurelio Giustinelli. Row 2. Vigo Moons and Noah Grenier. Row 3, Jamaro Hoft and Maurice Vercroys on row 4. Edouard Gauffoy and Mathis Mouche round out your top 10. Lucas Metz and Yannis van den Bosch. Row 6, Alexandre Point and Maxime Linders. Row 7. Row 8, Noah Potkins and the UK's Charlie Myers. Mathis Londen and Jules de Koen round out, and all Belgian row number 9. Jan Rodriguez and Milan Chechin round out the top 20. Sacha Duquet, Timio Rifla, Léo Hardouin, then Jules de Vries, Kiana Jolie Optoff and Harry Myers round out your 26 strong grid. 10 minutes plus an additional lap. Louis Bazire taking the first win as we go on to the official formation lap. So Brock promotion and Fusion on the front row, with Fusion on the inside of row number 2. I think so far this has been the best qualifying so far this season for Henry Carter. But Lorenz de Kock, one of the drivers that was in contention, along with the man that the youngster that would eventually pick up the mini title last year, Noah Grenier, who went on an absolute clean sweep streak last year, but showed great prowess in the opening round at Marienburg a few weeks ago, when we got the season up and running. It's going to be down to Carter and de Kock on the front row to control the pace. So, red lights ignited on the starting gantry here at Racing Kart JPR. Out of the final corner into the tram lines. On est parti! Let's go racing once again. And a good start by Henry Carter. Lorenz de Kock looks to put it round the outside at turn 1. But there's a spinner at the back end of the field. Looks like an RSD karting entry, as Henry Carter leads the field. Lorenz de Kock and I think Didier Krieft round out your top 3. 3 wide coming out of turn 3 in the mid-pack. They nearly tried it again through turn 4. Some drivers trying to use that sense of desperation rather than the sense of urgency. Urgency is where you calmly get about your business. Desperation is when you throw everything at it, including the kitchen sink and the local greenery. At the moment, Henry Carter leading the way. I think there's been a change, possibly Vigo Moons, maybe Aurelio Giustinelli, but it is Henry Carter leading the way. Out of the 2 Fusion carts, looks like Didier Krieft has got through on Lorenz de Kock and will take second position. That is confirmed as they cross the line to complete the opening lap. Carter's got a lead of nearly 3.5 tenths of a second. Didier Krieft, Lorenz de Kock, Noah Grenier now up to 4th. Aurelio Giustinelli, Vigo Moons, Jamaro Hoft, Maurice Vercroys, Edouard Gauffoy and Mathis Mouche, the Luxembourger, who's ahead of fellow countryman Alexandre Point. As Carter leads a trio at the front peloton going into turn 6, now into turn 7, before the right here at 8. You just see how hard they are pushing these drivers. And this is the class that you need to really get your head around in order to move up into senior X30 after maybe 2 or 3 years in the category itself. Antoine Nicolet Duval a fait combien seulement en ce moment? Une manche. So again, well, that gap is coming down. Carter, Krieft, de Kock, line astern, 2.5 tenths of a second separate them. 50, and now it could be a possible change. Up the inside, Lorenz de Kock goes for the 2 and gets it. Brilliant work there by the youngster from Belgium. Threw it up the inside. Didier Krief just opened the door. Lorenz de Kock just took full advantage. It was like he was stealing the takeaway. And now, here we go again. Carter through on de Kock. Krief got through as well. Grignier's in there. Oh my goodness me, this could be very, very close indeed. Grignier's going to get through on de Kock, through at the chicane. Nicely done there by the 166. And now, there's some late breakers going into turn number 10. As they go down the hill once more, Jamaro Hoft, I think, just tapped the left rear of the cart in front, which is 198 Vigo Moons. So, new leader, Didier Krief, has got a nearly 6/10 advantage over Henry Carter from the United Kingdom. And he's got Noah Grignier towards the inside. Grignier gets through. But will Carter have the presence of mind to just stay in the wheel tracks at this moment? That's going to be crucial here. But Didier Krief now starting to try and pull a little bit of an advantage over the rest of the opposition. At this moment in time, this is working for him. However, as drivers get quicker and quicker, what could happen here is that Grignier, who now is ahead of Carter, could start pulling the freight train behind him along for the ride. So Giustinelli in the TB cart rounds out P4. Down the hill they go once again. But Didier Krief just doing a really, really good job. Grignier just holding off Carter and Giustinelli for that second place. 6 minutes still to go. And the gap now starting to expand. Grignier is having to defend. And that's not what he will want at this moment in time. He will want to pull the 2 along behind with him. Now into turn 3 once again. Giustinelli sizing up a possible move on Henry Carter. But the amount of speed these drivers are carrying through the corners, absolutely stupendous to watch as we are about to hit half time. But whilst this quartet at the front end of the field are trying to pull away, they are not, because the quartet behind, led by Moons, with Jamaro Hoft, the Surinamese Dutch driver, Edouard Godefroy. Lorenz de Kock has dropped all the way down into 8th position. So the 101 from Fusion Motorsport Benelux Progress Racing needs to get a bit of a wriggle on. Half time through the race, and Grignier starting to close that gap. Timur Riefler up 10 places from 22nd, now runs P12, fastest lap so far, 57.992. And it looks like Lorenz de Kock has possibly made a move up the order. Now the top 4. They were 0.8 of a second apart. I'm going to say that's probably going to be more like 0.4 if you're lucky. But Giustinelli is now through on Carter, who is starting to, came flying out of the gates, was on pole position. Now he's lost another position to Jamaro Hoft. So Didier Krief, Noah Grignier, starting to really battle here. And Didier Krief, a quarter of a second up the road from Grignier. Giustinelli, Jamaro Hoft, Henry Carter, Vigo Moons, Lorenz de Kock, Edouard Godefroy, Alexandre Point, and Maurice Vercroys now round out the top 10. Another position lost. So Vigo Moons through on Henry Carter. Carter now out of the top 6 places. Crop promotion might not be feeling 100% happy under the driving of Henry Carter. Now, sometimes setup can be compromised due to higher temperatures. At the moment, we are now 26 degrees centigrade and climbing. Grignier, in the meantime, is closing in on the driver out in front at the moment. So, Didier Krief has got to watch his rear bumper and just keep an eye over his left and right shoulders from time to time, just to make sure that Noah Grignier is not close enough for a possible attack. And now Krief just starts pushing the envelope a little bit more. 0.3 is the gap. So Edouard Gaufoy now ahead of Henry Carter. Henry is struggling, I'll be completely honest with you here. So 2.5 minutes to go, and they're still bound through that chicane quite significantly. But Grenier is getting closer and closer. It was 0.3 of a second. Germano Hoff now has the fastest lap in the pocket at the moment, 57.790. But with 2.25 minutes to go, the battle between Didier Klieft and Noah Grenier carries on. Grenier gets his head down using the human DRS, as we like to call it here in karting. Get the airflow as much as possible over the top of his race helmet and hunker down. Now into turn number 3. Grenier really close under braking. Was within 1/4 of a kart length behind Didier Klieft, and Klieft knows he can feel it behind him. He can hear the engine noise, not just to his immediate right-hand side, but the engine behind him roaring in towards him. So Didier Klieft still at the moment holding on with a slender lead over Noah Grenier. And things are getting even more heated under the collar when you consider the two behind. Aurelio Giustinelli and Germano Hoff. This is going to put us onto the second from last lap. And Grenier closes to within 2.5 tenths of Klieft. Now going through in towards turn number 3. Grenier really close this time. They were nearly touching bumpers on that particular occasion under braking going into turn number 3. And now Grenier's got the bit between the teeth, the fire lit in the belly. A kart length behind into the next double left. Here it turns 6 and 7, then into the right-hander at turn 8. Grenier could fire something up the inside, but at the moment, well, it seems like Klieft has got a bit more of a composed setup on that Fusion kart. Now through into the right-hander here at turn 10. Down the hill through the left at 11. Now the right. Then now the left, right, left. So 2 laps to go. How far is Didier Klieft ahead of Noah Grenier? That gap has slightly expanded. And it's 0.3. Didier Klieft, new fastest lap of the race. That's exactly how he needed to respond at this moment. As Germano Hoff up the inside of Aurelio Giustinelli at turn 3. Oh, that was a beautiful late braking manoeuvre from the 144. But now the timer has expired. Grenier knows that this is his opportunity to get through, but Didier Klieft from Fusion Motorsport not letting the 166 just take a casual overtake up the inside and get the job done. The young star from the Euro karting trying everything in the playbook, but Didier Klieft is going to bring us as the race leader onto this last lap in this second X30 Junior Heat C versus D. Looks like we've got a mechanical black flag, 1:22. As we go on to the final lap of this race. Lucas Metz, unfortunately, is going to have to park that thing. And that's game over for the Belgian. Yep, he's seen the sign. He's decided against going in it. There was a there's a big old scramble going through into turn 3 as our leaders now coming through into 6 and 7 for the final time. And Didier Klieft has done an absolutely masterful job at keeping the young, hungry wolf behind him in the form of Noah Grenier from Euro karting, last year's mini champion. So just a handful of corners to go. And from the inside of row number 2, from third on the grid, he's managed to put his money where his mouth is. Out of the final corner, Fusion Motorsports' Didier Klieft picks up the Heat 2 victory by nearly 3.5 tenths of a second ahead of Noah Grenier, Germano Hoff, Aurelio Giustinelli, Laurens de Kock, Edouard Gaufoy, Alexandre Poix, Henry Carter, Maurice Verkreuz and Timio Rifla making a great run up the field from 22nd to finish 10th. Maxime Linders, Yanis van den Bosch, Viggo Moons, Jan Rodriguez, Charlie Myers Kiana Jolly opt off from 25th to 16th. Mathis Londen, Milhan Chechin, Shirt de Vries, Harry Myers rounding out your top 20. Jules de Koon, Leo Hardouin finishing in 22nd. Ahead of Noah Podkins, Sacha Duquet, Lucas Fetz and Mathis Mouche unfortunately retiring on lap number 4.